Tell you what. Greetings, family. Welcome to another one of your FRANK26 UB2Bs. It's good to be with you. It is the 12th of July, 2023, and I greet you in agape love. We are KTFalways.com. It stands for Keep the Faith Always in our Heavenly Father. Before we do anything, we always go to God's throne room and ask for strength, ask for guidance for this conference call. Will you quickly join me? Abba, Heavenly Father, by the blood of Jesus, I come to your throne room asking you to guide us and be with us in all that we do tonight. Let this information be of some value, of some use that others are seeking right now. Thank you for allowing our dear friend Steve to come and join us tonight. I thank you for this opportunity. It is in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the Holy Spirit that I pray. Amen, amen, amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit different, isn't it? What do you think about this format? I like it. And we did it because we have a special guest star tonight. And as you can see, you can see Steve Scott. But before I turn it over to Steve, let me just brag about him for a second. Stephen K. Scott is well known around the world as a New York Times best-selling author, having written many books such as Jesus Speaks, The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, The Greatest Words Ever Spoken, and his latest book, The Joseph Principles, just to name a few. Steve is also known as one of the most influential people in direct response to television, selling over $4 billion worth of various breakthrough products, including the Total Gym with Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris. That's why I'm so proud to have him with us tonight, that he's going to be representing KTFA and the product that we're going to be sharing with you tonight. Over the last 15 years, Steve has also been heavily involved in pioneering the glutathione research space around the world and is the founder of a very unique nanotechnology company called NuMe. That's what we're here to study tonight, NuMe. One of Steve's secrets to success is that he markets what he would call a breakthrough product. You know me, family. You know I bring you products that I believe in, products that have been well tested, products that I believe will be of great interest to you. I don't bring you just rinky-dink stuff. NuMe is going to, actually, Steve is going to introduce NuMe to you and tell you the value of this product. Now, before I introduce him one more time, allow me to brag for another 15 seconds. All right, make it 30 seconds. You all know how I feel about our president, Donald J. Trump. You know how I feel about him, all right? Well, I want you to know that Donald J. Trump wants you to know something about Steve. This is a direct quote from our president, Donald J. Trump. Steve Scott's uncanny insights and strategies are so specific and easily applied, I believe that they can empower anyone, whether a college student, a small business owner, or a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, to achieve levels of success they haven't yet dreamed of. Donald J. Trump. Steve, that's an amazing endorsement, brother.
Well, that came many years ago. That was in 1996 on my very first book that came out back then, called A Millionaire's Notebook: How Ordinary People Achieve Extraordinary Success. And he was very kind with his endorsement. So he hadn't gone into politics yet.
Well, yes, indeed. It was very kind indeed. Sir, we now turn the program over to you. You're going to teach us about NuMe. You're going to teach us about the product. You're going to teach us even about the opportunities if you have the time. And every now and then, sir, if you don't mind, maybe you can give me a chance to ask you a question. But the floor is yours until you feel that you're exhausted.
Okay, now I know that you have 4 questions. Why don't we just start with number 1 and we'll go from there.
I like that idea. All righty. When you feel that you've answered the question, let me know, and I'll go on to the second question. Okay. Well, Steve, let me ask you. You've lived such a full Christ-based and fruitful life. What prompted you to come out of retirement and start another company?
Well, my background was that I was a chronic failure for the first 6 years after college. I couldn't succeed no matter how hard I tried. I lost 9 jobs in 6 years. I had just lost job number 5 when my best friend, a guy named Gary Smalley, was visiting me from Chicago. And Gary, I said, Gary, I don't understand it. No matter what I do, I can't succeed. And I know I'm not stupid. I have a good IQ. I know I'm not lazy. I'm first in, last out at every company I work for. And I understand my craft, which is marketing, but I just can't succeed. And Gary said, well, let me pray about it. And I love that because he didn't shoot from the hip. He wanted to really know what God's answer was. And the next morning, he came into my little living room in Phoenix, Arizona, and said, Steve, how would you like to be wiser than all your bosses? And I said, yeah, right. I was 26 years old and I had already lost 5 jobs. And he said, no, there's something you can do. Do it for 2 years. In 2 years, you'll be wiser than all your bosses. In 5 years, you'll probably be a millionaire. Well, he was wrong. In 2.5 years, I was a multimillionaire. So what he shared with me really worked. And what he said is there's 31 days in the month, 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs. Every day, read the chapter of the day with pencil and paper in hand. Write down the wisdom and strategies you get and begin to apply those to your work. Do that for 2 years. It'll take you through the book of Proverbs 24 times, and I promise you it'll change everything.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. And in the next 18 months, I went through jobs number 6, 7, 8, and I started job number 9. And but I had been through Proverbs about 18 times. I found these amazing strategies and started to apply them really on job number 9. Job number 9, in the 4 months I worked on that job, I doubled the company's sales from 30 million to 60 million using these strategies. And then a man offered to partner with me. He had $5,000. I had an idea. I had to move back to Philadelphia from Phoenix, but we started a little company. And using the strategies I found in Proverbs, we launched a company on May 10th, 1976. And by December, our little tiny nothing company was doing $1 million in sales every week. And it grew ultimately to billions of dollars in sales. And the difference were these strategies in Proverbs. So one of the books that I did write ultimately was a book called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived, King Solomon's Secrets to Success, Wealth, and Happiness, on the very strategies I found in Proverbs and the skill sets to apply those strategies. But I retired from business in 2017. And shortly after that, met a scientist. And he came to me with what he thought he could do in terms of miniaturizing or nanosizing some particles.
Right.
And he said, what would you say if I could nanosize glutathione and some other amino acids? And he gave me the particle size. If I could get under that, I said, if you could get under that, we'd change life on earth, period. We would change immune response. We would change athletic output, energy output. We would change muscle output. We would change recovery times. We would change how your body responds and reacts to various viral and bacterial states. I had been funding for, at that point, a number of years, 12 years, research around one particular tripeptide called glutathione. And it turns out glutathione is the single most important molecule in life. It's just as important as oxygen. There'd be no life on Earth without it. There'd be no plant life, tree life, people life, animal life. We'd have a beautiful blue atmosphere, but there'd be no life. It's that important. It performs over 400 functions in the human body. And most of those functions, many of them, are critical to just existing. It is produced by every cell in your body. In fact, Dr. Oz opened up one of his shows and he said this. He said, glutathione, the most important antioxidant you've never heard of. It's what protects you from the diseases you fear the most. Now, glutathione, like I say, when I teach on the science, I teach medical doctors. I'm doing a convention of 8,000 naturopaths in, I think it's in October. I'll be doing 800 doctors, anti-aging doctors in Las Vegas. And they think they know about glutathione. I've spent millions of dollars of my own money and years downloading into my brain from some of the world's top scientists all about glutathione. And that's why I'm passionate. I came out of retirement after 6 weeks because I knew if we could truly get the particle size down, we'd be the biggest game changer ever. And so I went ahead and put in a lot of money, 7 figures. And a few of my friends said, hey, can we invest in that? Because they saw my enthusiasm. So between us, we put millions of dollars into developing, creating the reactor, creating the science. And we did it. We got our particle size for glutathione, L-cysteine, and a number of other nutrients and amino acids. So tiny that you swish the product like a mouthwash.
Oh.
As you swish it, the particles go right into your bloodstream through your mucous membranes inside your cheeks and also sublingually in the venous cavity under your tongue. And we get into the blood within a couple minutes. We're raring to go. In fact, it takes 30 seconds of swishing. A lot of pro athletes, or not pro, but world-class athletes will swish for 2 or 3 minutes. But that's a little overkill. But from the time it gets into your bloodstream until the time it's out of the bloodstream is less than 2 minutes. So it is in your cells and active in those cells within 2 minutes. And the difference is truly life-changing. So anyway, back to your question. When I saw what we could have, I came out of retirement, even though I'll always be writing books. After Richest Man, Random House published Richest Man Who Ever Lived in 2006, and it became a worldwide bestseller. And so the president of Random House said at that point, we'll publish anything you write. And Larry King had me on that. All the Christian television shows had me on that book. And so I said, well, if that's the case, if you're going to publish anything, I said, all my future books, and they have been, will be on the life and teachings of the Lord Jesus. Because I went from atheism to becoming a follower of Christ in 1964 as a 16-year-old. Wow. And I'll be 75 in a couple weeks. And I have seen the grace of God and the miracles of God, a string of thousands of miracles since making my first profession of faith back in 1964 through the ministry of C.S. Lewis. I came to Christ through Mere Christianity.
C.S. Lewis is a wonderful author, wonderful man. There's no doubt he can motivate anyone towards Christ. Well, I'm excited about the fact that you decided to come out of retirement and you decided to come to KTFA in your retirement to talk to us about glutathione. I have a background in biology. I'm a respiratory therapist. My children are all in the medical field. And, I know the importance of glutathione.
Well, here's the problem. Yeah. It declines, our body's production declines by 10 to 15% per decade.
Yes.
So take a 50-year-old. A 50-year-old will have minimally 30% less glutathione at 50 than they had at the age of 20. Now, listen to a few things that glutathione does, and then you'll get its importance. Number one, there's no oxygen transfer without it. When your body makes hemoglobin, the whole purpose of hemoglobin, primary purpose, is to bind to oxygen and deliver it. There you're talking about your lungs. Deliver it to every cell in the body. Problem is hemoglobin has the wrong electric charge, so it can't bind to oxygen. It has to be reduced to a +2. And when that reduction takes place, it binds to oxygen. The sole reduction agent for hemoglobin is glutathione. So without glutathione, there'd be no oxygen transfer. You take that nice deep breath, Air would go into your lungs, but that's where it would stop. It wouldn't go to any place else in your body, and we'd all be dead within a few minutes. That's one of 400 functions. Another one is it's the sole protector of the mitochondrial DNA. The reason that's critical, as long as your mitochondrial DNA remains intact and isn't broken, the cells can't mutate. And glutathione is what protects the mitochondrial DNA from the onslaught of chemical toxins as well as free radicals. Now, glutathione is the detoxifier of the cell. Everybody that's listening right now, Frank, including you and me, we all have over 200 industrial chemicals in our body. And we only say 200 because that's what the CDC measured for. In 1998, they measured for 143, and just to see what the average person carries around. It was a sample size of 2,000 people. Well, every single person had all 143. A few years later, they did 2,000 umbilical cords to see what gets through the babies. This time they tested for 217 industrial chemicals, and every single umbilical cord had every one. So these chemical toxins are not supposed to be in our cells, but they're there. And that's what breaks the mitochondrial DNA. So one guy right there from Georgia, Emory University, a brilliant microbiologist named, or molecular biologist, I'm sorry. His name is Dean Jones. He addressed a cancer symposium, and he said, if we want to prevent cancer, we must find ways to raise glutathione levels. And let me tell you why. He said, as we raise glutathione levels, we lower the chemical load in the cells. Now, these chemicals, what glutathione does, it has this real sticky sulfhydryl molecule that sticks to the chemical like a fly to fly paper, or those mouse traps that they have now, and different spider traps that are all sticky, right? Well, that's what glutathione does with the chemicals, and then it gets them out of the cell. But as our glutathione levels decline, we don't have the protection for the DNA that we had when we were younger. Glutathione, in addition to being the detoxifier, it's your body's master antioxidant. What does that mean? Well, every cell in our body, we have about 37 trillion cells. Every cell is attacked by 10 to 20,000 free radicals a day. A free radical is a thief. It wants to steal an electron from the cell. And when it does, it creates this terrible reaction, this oxidative reaction called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress creates inflammation in the cell, which we know inflammation is our mortal enemy, but it also accelerates the aging of the cell. So how fast your cells, tissues, organs age is all dependent on your glutathione levels. So how fast your face ages, how fast your heart, your brain, your kidneys, your lungs, how fast they age. If you have lower glutathione levels, they age more rapidly. It's called accelerated aging. If you have higher glutathione levels, then they age far more slowly. So I ask people, do you want to get younger? Do you want to stay younger longer, or do you want to get older faster? Now, one of the things, and I'll tell you the other thing that it does that's amazing, is it really beefs up your immune response. How fast your T cells and B cells, those are the assassins of the immune system, how fast they can multiply is totally dependent on your glutathione levels. If you have higher levels, they reproduce rapidly, even explosively. If you have lower glutathione levels, which most adults do, then they reproduce much more slowly, while the bacterial or viral insult is reproducing rapidly. So it's critical to our immune system. We all saw how terrible the pandemic was. And the truth is, people who had high glutathione levels had a very fast immune response. And consequently, very, very few of them die. They got sick, but they didn't die. On the other hand, low glutathione levels, there was a article that was published in the Journal of Infectious Diseases in May of 2020. And the title of that article was Low Levels of Endogenous Glutathione as the Cause of Severe Symptoms and Death in COVID-19 patients. And what that scientist went on to show was that everybody that died, or the people that they studied that died, they all had low glutathione levels. So glutathione levels go down as we age, and so does our mental and physical performance. How well you perform physically, emotionally, and mentally, how fast you fatigue physically or mentally. It's all dependent on your glutathione levels. And so the question is, why don't we just go out to the store and buy glutathione capsules? You can go to any health food store and buy it. The answer is glutathione is a very fragile long chain molecule. And when it gets into the stomach acid instantly breaks it apart. So it can't even get into the cells. So answering the problem with capsules, there are some glutathione capsules use what they call liposomes. Liposome is wrapping a particle in a fat, and it will get some of the glutathione through the stomach. Most of it still won't get through. And what it adds to the bulk of the particle. And your cells are so tiny. The average cell is only 100 nanometers in diameter, and the little pores in the cell are only 10 nanometers. So you add a fat to the particle, and guess what? It won't get into most cells. So there's very inefficient. You can go and get IV glutathione. That's when they inject it directly into your bloodstream to avoid the stomach. That's a lot better, but it costs about $150 to $300 an infusion. And the problem with that, the half-life of glutathione is only 90 minutes. So you get about a 6-hour bang from a glutathione infusion. You get a total, there's some residual effect for maybe up to 32 to 36 hours, but your big bang for the infusion is only 6 hours. And so that's very inefficient. I know a doctor, a surgeon in Florida, who was in surgery 14 hours a day. And so he got 3 glutathione infusions a week just to keep mentally sharp and keep his physical stamina. When he tried our product, which it's basically, this is what our product looks like. It's in this bottle. And 2 little capfuls, 2 teaspoons or 2 capfuls is a serving. Well, he goes ahead and he goes right off of his infusions, takes a serving, thinks he's going to see a big drop in his stamina. Instead, it increases. His fatigue decreases. And because there's no side effect, you can swish as often as you need to. So he'd swish 3 or 4 times in a day, which is a lot cheaper than an infusion. The infusions are, like I say, minimally. He was paying $300 an infusion. And so he saved the money, but instead of seeing this drop, he saw an actual increase in stamina, both mentally and physically. He never went back. Well, what we've done to avoid the stomach problem is we call it NutraSwish, because you swish it like a mouthwash. And people say, well, how much should I swish? Minimal serving once a day is, there it is. And you swish it once a day. Now, a lot of people, athletes will swish it 3 or 4 times a day. If a person has issues they're concerned about, they might swish 2 or 3 times a day. I know a lot of people that do that. I'll be 75, and I only need to swish usually once a day. Now, I write books between midnight and 2 a.m. That's when I do most of my writing. And so I'll swish right before I start to write, so I have real mental clarity. It doesn't have a stimulant, so it doesn't keep you awake. Glutathione is activated on demand. And when that head hits the pillow, your brain's not demanding what it is when you're alert or when you're awake. So it doesn't interfere with sleeping. But we had a really neat thing happen that I'd like to show you. The first thing I did is give it to some athletes. Yeah, I'm going to tell all about that one in a second.
Okay.
Okay. So I gave it to some athletes and I said, tell me what this does for you. Well, right away, literally overnight, I got calls. They say, unbelievable. I recovered in a fraction of the time. In fact, this one athlete that's an endurance athlete, his regimen for 10 years was at night, an hour on a treadmill at a 25-degree incline, and followed by 1 hour of intensive cycling. And he said, every morning I wake up so stiff and so sore, I have to use rollers, then I have to do yoga, then I have to do stretching just to get on with my day. He said, I didn't get sore. I woke up, I was fine. He said, this is the most incredible athletic product ever. So then I sent it to another athlete. And this guy was strength and conditioning coach for the football team at Liberty University. His name's Bill Gillespie. You can look it up. Or you can look him up. And I said, Bill, how you doing? When Bill was 49 years old in 2008, he set the world record in the bench press. He benched 804 pounds at the age of 49. Well, when I called him in 2018, I said, how you doing? He said, not good. He said, my lift is down to about 725. I said, well, that's got to be good for a 59-year-old. He said, yeah, it's a world record, but I don't get to compete with the elite guys anymore. He says, I used to be able to lift heavy 4 times a week. Now I can only lift heavy once a week. My recovery time's slow. He said, Steve, I hurt. A lifetime of weightlifting. I hurt when I wake up. I hurt all day. I hurt at night. And so I don't sleep well. Well, I sent him the product and everything changed. His recovery was so fast, he started lifting heavy 4 times a week again. In 6 months, as a 59-year-old, Frank, he went to lifting 915 pounds, a new world record.
Wow.
Up 200 pounds from where he was. As a 60-year-old, he went to 1,050 pounds, new world record. And last year in 2022, he did his last meet at the age of 62, and he set a new world record in the bench press, 1,129.8 pounds. So how is it that here he is at 49, he peaks out at 800 pounds. At 59, he's down to 700 pounds. Then he gets on our product, and in 6 months, he's at 900. Let's see, my fingers are getting crossed there. He's at 900 pounds. And 6 months later, he's at 1,050 pounds. And 6 months, and then 2 years after that, as a 62-year-old, he's at 1,129 pounds, 300 more pounds than his world record 13 years earlier. And people say, is that reverse aging? I'd say it's rewind, so I don't get in trouble. And but he went way beyond rewind. Rewind would have just been getting back up to 800 pounds, and he went way past it by 300 pounds. And in a bench press. Well, I knew I had the world's best athletic product, and I sent it to a friend of mine who was in a 100-mile bike race, former Army captain. She was a combat veteran, and she was breaking her personal record on it. All athletes break their personal record on it. It seems like, most anyway. And she, at mile 37, got into a wreck where she went end over end, hit the pavement so hard it knocked her out, broke her helmet, and she was hospitalized Saturday, Sunday, Monday, came home Tuesday night. And her face, you can imagine, it hit the pavement at 22 miles an hour. And so her face was just terrible. The plastic surgeon said it would take 5 weeks to clear. And she got home and thought, hey, this stuff's nano. Maybe if I put some on a cotton ball and put it on my face, things will clear up. Well, it was perfectly clear within 5 days. Plastic surgeon said she had never seen anything like it. And I've owned 4 different skincare and cosmetic companies. I had Cher as a spokesman for one. I had Kathy Lee Gifford on one. I had Angie Dickinson on one, and Meredith Baxter Burney from Family Ties on one. And I had good products. My president or my head formulator was president of the American Society of Cosmetic Chemists, a brilliant guy. In fact, he went on to be the head formulator for a company called Allergan that created Botox. And but what I hated about skincare, you can never get good before and afters. You may have noticed that when you see these celebrities on TV pitching skincare, they don't show before and afters. They show young models going like, okay, because they can't get good before and afters, really good ones. Well, I put it in a spray bottle after I saw what it did for this one Army captain and sent it out to a few friends and said, spray your face 5 times a day. It's just like water. It'll evaporate in about 90 seconds. That's what that is. And they sprayed their face. And I said, send me a before and after picture. And they did. They sent me after pictures at different intervals. But this lady right here, let's see if you can see that. There you go. So it looks like she's had a facelift, but she didn't. In fact, when I sent that to my former formulator, he said, Steve, I hate to tell you, she's had a facelift. I said, no, she hasn't, John. She's used my product for 7 weeks. He said, that's impossible. There's nothing that can do that. I said, ours can. I said, he said, what did you do? And I told him. He said, oh my gosh, no wonder. And so then that was one of our before and afters. Here was her mother, who was 80 years old. And let's see if I can get that centered. That was 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's just the beginning. Wait till you see. So,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you spray it 5 times a day. This was, I like this. Let's see if I can find this one woman right.
There you go, Steve. We're putting up the pictures.
Oh, good. There you go. Perfect. So that was 7 weeks. The pair of hands was 2 weeks. The woman with the dark circle, she had those most of her adult life and nothing touched them, and they were gone in 6 weeks. Do you have any more?
Do you have any more, Tink? Do you have any more pictures?
Oh, not of befores.
No, those are the 3 that they sent us. But
yeah, I'm going to show you a couple more fun ones.
So you took the product, Steve, and you converted it into a spray.
Yes.
So not only do we put it in our mouth, swish it around, and then because of the nanotechnology, it has been reduced in its molecular size that it's literally permeable into our respiratory, into our mucous membranes, all of our mouth and throat area, and it goes into our bloodstream right away.
Yeah. Look at this lady. She's in Nigeria. She's the mother of a physician. And the physician had been calling on one of our reps in Nigeria. We're in 60 countries now in only 2 years. And the physician said, Lillian, what are you doing with your face? You look 20 years younger. She said, I'm spraying it with this. And the doctor said, can I have some for my mom? So this is the doctor's mom, who's 80 plus year old. Look at the difference. I mean, that was 4 weeks. And another one I like to show because, you know what? The first thing that gives people away on their age is their neck and their hands. And I'll show you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll show you. This lady was in Australia where she had real severe sun damage. That was 6 weeks. And oops, here we go. And the hands look like they're 30 years younger. That's kind of typical. I'll show you. I used to have it, if I still have it. We have somewhere here an 80. No, I don't have that one. I don't see it. An 85-year-old man. And it looks like he's 20 years old from his hands. I mean, it's crazy. My hands, my son wanted me to do a half a face. And I said, Ryan, I'll look goofy. So I sprayed my right hand, but I didn't spray my left hand. And look at the difference. Most of the wrinkles have really been reduced. The hand's a lot smoother, brighter. That's what we see. We see a tightening and a brightening. Here we go. And it's just the most incredible thing. Now, the best thing about that's what we do on the outside. Remember, it's the same glutathione that's bringing about this incredible change on the outside that's exposed to radiation, sunlight, and all of that. Imagine what it's doing on the inside. not just for your immune system, but your liver, your heart, your brain. And it's fighting oxidative stress, and therefore it's related to accelerated aging. We believe it's slowing down the accelerated aging.
It must be slowing it down. You know, these weightlifters that you were talking about, that's amazing, Steve. I mean, here I am bragging that I can bench press 300 pounds. Whoa, big deal. 1,000? I can't wait to start using this stuff and see what the improvement, the significant improvement would be, because when you use it, we're talking about instantly within about a minute, we are being affected by this. And then you put it into a spray, which means that topically it's being absorbed into. What do you think? A month of using this product on your face, you'll see results?
Well, you see results. A lot of people see results in the first week or two. You can feel the results very quickly, but we have pictures of people at 2 weeks, at 8 weeks, 6 weeks. Let's see. I'm looking for. Okay, so this one was for 6 weeks. Now, it doesn't even look like the same person.
Bring it up, bring it closer.
Oh, here we go.
There you go, right there.
So what it does, it's tightening her face, and brightening her face and making everything smoother. It's truly remarkable. Look at this lady. That once again doesn't look like the same lady, but it is. So people say, do I have to use it forever? And the answer is, do you have to take in oxygen forever? Yes. Do you have to take water forever? Yes. Glutathione is just as important as oxygen and water. Without it, you die. With it, with adequate amounts, I believe that you're dealing with, we know you're partially mitigating oxidative stress, which creates accelerated aging.
A person that is having difficulty, let's say, for example, his eyesight is starting to get weaker as he's getting older. A person with gray hair like me, you know, gray and a little black. A person that's lacking energy, they can tell very quickly after using this product, can't they?
The energy comes real fast. Now, remember, we're a supplement. We don't treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any disease state. It's a supplement. So we don't even talk about medical things, even though when you go to our website, you go to Frank's website, you can look at About Us, go to Medical Advisory Board. We have doctors from Stanford, Mayo Clinic, Harvard, the doctor that created the pain management program for Harvard Medical School and practiced at Harvard, at the Brigham and Women's Hospital for so many years. We have world-renowned doctors, and they all serve for free. They get paid nothing. We probably have the only unpaid medical board of any supplement company in the world, any pharmaceutical company in the world even. And we're not a pharmaceutical company. They don't receive any remuneration. But they have had many, many, many of their clients on our products, and they've seen the radical results. It's just been a blessing, and the Lord's brought us all of these. We did not seek these guys out. These guys started using the products in their clinics. We're in many, many clinics, hundreds of clinics throughout the world. We're in 60 countries, and so they use this product. So there's no cell. Oh, here, I'll show you. I just found this. This you can kind of see the one I want you to see. See that one that says 2 months? Look at the change in 2 months. That's crazy. And this pair of hands, let's see where the pair of hands are, right here. This guy's 85 years old. He lives in Toronto, Canada. Look at the difference in his hands in 2.5 months. So do we make a difference? Look at 7 months. And it's just amazing. We've had people say, can we buy a vat of it so we can bathe in it? And the answer is no, it costs you too much and we can't ship it out anyway. Water is heavy. We do ship our product as is though. So that's gives you a little idea on what we have. It's the biggest breakthrough of my lifetime. And what I've always done is focus on breakthroughs. People say, well, tell us a breakthrough. Well, how about Total Gym with Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley? That was one of our products. And we introduced that in 1996 and it's still on the air 27 years later. Uh-oh, we lost our internet connection. Trying to get it back. Frank, let me know when we get our internet connection back. I've got my connection. I think your show has lost its connection. Technology is good. Technology is not so good sometimes. Maybe I should reconnect. Okay. Are you there, Frank?
Hey,
there you are.
With us. We are having bad weather out here, Steve.
Oh, wow.
Real bad weather. But we, all good. We still have our number of people with us, and they're going to be patient, Steve. Because number one, this is exciting. I didn't even know what we were going to talk about, and I'm excited to learn what you're telling me. As a person with a medical background, this is exciting. No, we're not claiming any cures, but oh my goodness, are you kidding me? I dare you. I dare you, KTFA family. I dare you. Just try it. Just try it and see what happens. Glutathione is a powerful look. This nanotechnology, if I'm understanding this correctly, Steve, you were able to reduce the molecule down to the point where it became permeable into certain tissues that normally it isn't. And on top of that, not only is it permeable to deliver food, oxygen, whatever it may be, but it's permeable to take it out of the body as well, too.
Glutathione's at a molecular level. So once glutathione's in there, it's in there as a molecule. And it's not only glutathione, we've also done cysteine. Cysteine is the rate-limiting amino acid, the glutathione molecule. So what happens is we put glutathione in the cell, and that's a loaded gun that the cell can instantly use to defend itself. The cysteine migrates into the cytoplasm of the cell, where the cell then combines it with the other two amino acids, glutamic acid and glycine, to create glutathione.
Gotcha.
And so that's... we keep the cell working, making its own, but at the same time, we put glutathione right into the cell so it can be effective right away.
And the fact that you brought out athletes that are using it, the recovery period of an athlete is money.
Yeah, no, it's the big game changer. A group in Spain of sports medicine doctors. They have 19 clinics, and they were testing it, and they found it delayed the for conditioned athletes, which are really hard to change. For you and I to change our performance is pretty easy, but for a world-class elite athlete, changing any parameter is really hard because they're already in maximum.
They're already up there.
But it delayed the onset of lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
By 2 kilometers. So before the body even starts to produce lactic acid, it delays that by 2 kilometers. So that's on a mile track, that's 5 times around the track so just that delay, it's a 16.7% delay. And they said that's the biggest game changer of all time because that allows you to perform at a much higher level. It allows you to recover much more rapidly because there's less damage from the lactic acid.
And I heard you talking about how it works very well with oxygen as a delivering agent. Well, an athlete needs his second win.
Yeah.
Oh, that's worth money too.
The athletes, once they start on it, they don't go off it. I was with a pretty avid golfer the other day, and he said, "How should I use Swish?" I said, "Easy. You swish it 5 minutes before you start your game. You swish it anytime you start to lose your mental focus or physical stamina. And minimally, you'll swish it before you begin your second 9, your back 9. And then swish right afterwards, and you'll be recovered so fast, you'll be able to do the same thing tomorrow if you want."
Steve, we're going to go a little extra because we lost about 5 minutes with you there. I got to ask you some questions from our listening audience. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Steve, would it help to stop the production of, what is that? What?
Production of the spike protein for
okay. Would it help to stop the production of the spike protein for VAX people, VAX?
Yeah, and the answer is we don't know. Here's what we know. When you raise glutathione levels, the cells become healthier and they are able to perform all their functions more effectively. Okay. That includes detox. That includes combating. Now, when we get into spike vax and disease states, we're not allowed to say anything because you're just not allowed to do it.
Okay.
But I will tell you, anybody, I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 67.
Okay. Well, at 67, that means your body produces about half of the glutathione that it
67.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Here's how you calculate it. 30, 40, 50, 60. So that's 4 times 10 or 15.
Oh.
Now you add another 5 years. That's another minimally 7%. So you're minimally at 47% less glutathione than at the age of 20. But the assault on the cells never stops. It's just as severe.
You can change those numbers. I'm going to be taking this from now on.
I'll tell you about another free radical that's terrible that our parents never had to deal with. And that's called peroxynitrite. When the microwaves from the cell towers, the 5G towers, enter your body, they don't do damage right away. But what they do is they begin to react with the nitrogen in your body. And that reaction can produce peroxynitrite, which is the most aggressive, longest living free radical we know of. It lives 1 billion times longer than normal free radicals that are produced from oxygen. And it attacks the DNA directly. It's real aggressive. It can even transfer from cell to cell. So that's peroxynitrite. Well, guess what? Glutathione is the only antioxidant that can sequester that. All antioxidants are monofocused, which means they take out one particular type of free radical, but can't take out the others. So vitamin C would take out that one. Vitamin E would take out that one. Superoxide dismutase, catalase, CoQ10, but they leave all the others. Glutathione is called the master antioxidant because unlike all other antioxidants, it's not monofocused. It can sequester and neutralize all types of free radicals, regardless of their structure, source, or their chemical makeup.
Brother Steve, I'm telling you, I'm excited about this product. They're asking, does it help diabetic type 2?
Okay, that's a medical question. We're not allowed to answer medical questions.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'll
But
try
here,
to
let me say one thing.
Will wants to come in real quick. Say
Oh,
something.
brother, Will wants to come in. Are you finish what you were going to say?
Okay, it's not what it deals with.
Okay.
It's what it does in the cells. It makes every cell in the body more effective,
Okay.
more healthier, able to perform at a higher level, because inflammation reduces the performance level of any cell. What causes the inflammation is the oxidative stress, and it's glutathione that mitigates the oxidative stress.
Well, Steve, a product like this, the way it's structured, would help someone to go to sleep a little bit easier too.
For
You're
me,
removing stress.
Yeah, for me, I sleep like a baby once I close my eyes. I typically go to bed listening to the Gospels, either Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. And because I've been 17 years focused on the words of Christ, I know what's coming. I know what's coming in every chapter.
Man.
And yet, so I get excited and then I fall asleep.
It's if you say you sleep like a baby, I'll probably end up getting a pacifier. I'll feel like a like a baby.
There you go.
Discoloration like eczema, psoriasis.
Those are all medical conditions.
I'm sorry. Did I messed up again? Well,
let me repeat. Now listen to this, Frank. Frank, close the mouth and listen.
Okay.
Every cell in your body performs more effectively.
Yeah.
Your T cells and B cells that are the assassin that target the causes of diseases, they reproduce more rapidly. So everything has the opportunity to become healthier.
I like your knowledge about the microwave, that byproduct that is produced by the chemical reaction of the microwave. And this is the glutathione is the only thing that can counter that?
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Everybody uses the microwave every day.
Well, I'm talking about what comes out of a 5G tower. Those are very powerful.
Yeah, that was a cell tower.
The antennas, what comes out of the antennas. But the fact is we're all confronted by different forms of radiation.
I see. Okay.
And glutathione is used by the cell to fight. It won't stop the radiation like it won't stop the ultraviolet light waves, but the radiation, how do you repair that? Glutathione is in that repairing process.
Right.
Here's what you do. Have your viewers or listeners, they Google search glutathione and then they can put in anything they want. Glutathione and psoriasis, glutathione and aging, glutathione and fatigue. 177,000 published studies in PubMed. Believe me, studies will come up and you'll see the power of glutathione. The problem has always been the efficient and effective delivery of glutathione into the cells. It's such a fragile molecule, and that's what we've overcome.
Yes, in order to reduce it to that size. Wow, nanotechnology. It's amazing what they're doing nowadays. Jen, go ahead, Tank. Bring in Will, and let's see what he wants to offer us. Hi, Will.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Will.
My phone's really busy over here, guys. Y'all talking, and I'm answering the phone over here.
Good. Good.
This is quite a response from the family, and we certainly do appreciate your willingness to give us a try here, because we're certain that we're going to change some lives.
Amen.
Great product.
It's amazing what's going on here. Listen, I wanted to let people know, because I do know I'm perfectly aware that y'all are going to Frank's Numi website and placing your orders today. But let me make one thing perfectly clear, and please make sure you do this. When you go to his website and you're preparing to make your order, make sure Frank's name is up at the top right corner, okay? Because we had some merging with another company, and sometimes it kicks back to Numi corporate. So we don't want that to happen to you guys. We want to make sure Frank's name is at the top right. If you're playing, Frank, you're a nut. We want to make sure that his name's at the top right over there. Okay, we want to make sure that we're supporting Frank.
I'll tell you what, if
Right.
you have any kind of issue
Sore.
in your mouth,
Uh-huh.
but you just did.
Like canker sores.
Oh yeah.
I
Or-
was 2 hours in a dental chair the other day, yesterday, in fact. And after all the numbness wore out, my tongue was really burning because I kept scraping it against my bottom teeth and trying to get some feeling. I couldn't feel my tongue or anything. And then when the numbness wore off, it was really red and sore. There were some, and I sprayed it and boom.
Wow.
One,
I'm just so tickled think about that. Yes, Will, go right ahead.
one word, and I'm going to get off here and let you guys continue. Bill Drain, I'll try to get you an answer. That's all I can tell you. Oh, mercy. Well, listen, thank you. Thank you so much, Stephen, for being here. Frank, thank you for all you do for the family. And God bless y'all. I'll be backstage if you need me.
Stephen? Yes, okay. Thank you, brother. Stephen,
Yes.
I'd like for you to, consider down the road, maybe coming back and seeing us.
I'd love to.
After we have all of our family use the product, there's going to be a lot more questions that'll be stimulated. Even the program itself, like if they want to make a business out of it or whatever.
Oh, yeah. You can join Numi. We have about 60,000 distributors
Wow.
in 60 countries. The U.S. is our most productive country right now, but we're in 60 nations.
So it's 60 nations we can sell it to. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
And so you can join the network. There's no price to join. We let people join for free. We
No
don't sell
kidding.
the apps are free, so you can use the apps. You can send out videos to people. They can watch videos that you send to them. You'll
Okay.
get notified that they're watching the video, and
Yeah.
so then you can call them and follow up. All of that's free. We don't charge for anything. The product we price, you can go on auto ship through your website, Frank. They can go on auto ship and they end up with a very big discount. And yes, we are in the United Kingdom. Thank you for asking. But remember, you go to numi.com/Frank26. That's all you have to do, and you'll be on Frank's personal. And then you'll get a personal one. If you join and come into the business side, you will get your personal website as well that you can then,
And it's all for free.
yeah, no cost.
Can I join again? It's too good to be true. Listen, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of all my organs. The
Yeah.
doctors told me 3.5 years ago, Mr. Villa, you've got 2 to 4 months to live.
Oh my goodness.
What? Why? What happened? Oh, you have a mandrian-sized tumor in your bladder. Oh, okay. But I did not do what they told me to do. Instead, I used products that I thought would be helpful. I wish I knew about this when I was going through it, because 3 years later, another tumor popped up in my bladder. And it was at that time, sir, that I said, okay, all right, God, I got the message.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and have the operation. And I did. And now I'm cancer free. But
Frank, I got to say something. I got to interrupt you
Yes.
because we don't want you to get in trouble.
Okay.
Okay. So we are not advising any of your viewers to go against their doctor's advice.
Agreed.
Okay. That's how we
Agreed.
get in big
I
trouble.
even took the products, by the way.
Yeah.
Some of them they said, no. Some of them they said, yeah. So I'm curious to see what they'll say about this product when I take it to my oncologist. I'll
Yeah.
report back to you privately and let you know what happened.
Right.
But no. There's no way we're going to disrespect the medical community.
Right.
They work hard to help us, to keep us alive, the medicine, the technology, the doctors and nurses, everybody. We are very grateful to them. What we're doing is simply giving some, it's like insurance.
No, it's like health. We're
Health.
infusing health
Okay.
their cells.
All right.
We're giving their cells the number one defensive molecule that every cell in the body wants
Nothing
to fight
wrong
for
with
its own life.
nothing wrong with having that in your body all the time.
No.
Once again, Steve, I'm excited. Tink, are there any other final questions that you have over there?
Oh, but I'm going to put up a couple of pictures before he leaves.
You're going to put up a couple of pictures before he leaves of what?
Here's his book.
Oh, look at that, family. Look at all these books that Steve has written. Mentored by a Millionaire. Okay, give me two copies of that one, Tink.
Yeah. The Joseph Principles is the newest one. They can get that on Amazon.
Right.
And the subtitle is Turning Adversity and Heartache into Miraculous Living, but it should be coming into a more intimate relationship with the Father and the Lord Jesus Christ, because that's what the book really is all about.
Look at that, family. This is what KTFA is, what we're based on. This is the core of KTFA, our relationship with our Heavenly Father,
Amen.
with Jesus Christ, with the Holy Spirit. And I'm so happy to tell you that Steve is our brother in Christ.
Hallelujah.
You have another picture? Oh, look at him. Look at him. You look handsome in that picture there, sir.
You're very kind. That's on the back porch of our bedroom. We live in the mountains.
Look at that.
Here's the product.
And there's the products, ladies and gentlemen. And if I can be of any help to you, my phone number is 419-283-2552. 419-283-2552. Feel free to call me anytime. We'll gladly take your information and order it for you. We'll gladly answer as many questions as we can. And like Steve said, and we should reiterate it one more time, we're not saying that this is going to cure anything. We're simply saying that this is a product that you should consider and see what it does for you.
Yes.
Any final words, Steve?
Yeah. If you work out, if you exercise, be sure and take a serving 5 minutes before and then right after. And you'll see a recovery time like you've never seen before. You'll also see a higher level of performance. In fact, we have a lot of people that say, after my workout, 15 minutes later, I thought, I didn't work out very hard. I don't even feel like I worked out. I could go again. And so just get ready for a whole new quality of life, because that's what glutathione's all about. And that's how we're the most efficient and effective way we know of for getting glutathione into the cells.
I look forward to having you back in the future. Go ahead and take that picture down. Oh, you're trying to take the picture down?
Here we are. Hey, Frank, let's
look what he did.
I'm getting him on the picture there.
It's funny. Hey, Steve, ready on three. Ready? 1, 2. Oh, she did it. Okay.
Hey, Frank.
Yes.
Does she have access to the internet?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go to numi.com and put that on the screen, and I'm going to show you where our medical board, how they find it.
Good. There you go. Hold on a second, sir. I like this.
Yeah, go to your website, numi.com/Frank26.
This streaming, thank you for introducing it to me. I may be using it in the future. I really like this. My wife is bringing it up on the other computer. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 computers. Oh,
We're going to About Us.
Yes, go to About Us.
Yes, About Us.
About Us.
And Medical Advisory Board. Click on that.
There it is. Good. Throw it up, can you?
I don't know. Let's give it a try.
She's going to try, Steve. Hang in there. If we blow up the screen, we know it didn't work. Hold on.
I'm not sure how to do that. I don't know how.
Oh, bless her heart.
Okay.
What we can do, though, Steve, is I can take a picture of it and hold it up, and you can say what you want to say about it. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. In the meantime, go ahead and start talking about it. Here, Tank. Take pictures.
When you get to Frank's website and you go to About Us, click on that, and then you drag down to Medical Advisory Board. Click on that. It'll bring up the Medical Advisory Board. Scroll down a little bit, and on any of those pictures of the different doctors, you can click on their photograph or their name, and their whole circumbeta, their whole resume comes up. And you'll see these are renowned doctors. These aren't fly-by-nights. These aren't flakes. They are amazing, and they serve at no price to us.
Let me
Here,
pictures today too.
No.
Well, here we go, family. These are the individuals that Steve was talking to you about. And let me just blow it up. First of all, there's a handsome man and a lady right there.
but there's a whole bunch of them. If you go to that very top one, yeah, well, okay, keep going. Go the other way. There you go. So like the gentleman on the left was an Army colonel for 13 years. The guy in the middle was a Marine Corps major, helicopter pilot. Now he's in, he is a consultant to some of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world, but he does charge them. He doesn't charge us. The guy on the right is 73 years old and he still practices in the ER. He's an emergency medical doctor. These are three of many, but if you click on their face or their name, it brings up their whole resume.
Here's a far better view of those pictures.
Okay, now that you just changed one, can you go back to where that first one? Or go up? No, and to the side. There we go. Doug Harrington.
This gentleman?
No, that's Gordon Crozier. He was head of women's health at University of Kentucky for many years.
Look at the next picture. And I'll get the next picture here, Steve. Well,
the first picture on the thing is Doug Harrington.
I got it. Here we go.
So Doug Harrington was at Stanford, and on the Stanford heart transplant team, he is a hematologist, a pathologist, cardiologist. He has brought over 200 breakthrough therapies in cancer therapies and heart cardiotherapies to the world. I mean, that's just one. The guy in the middle was a Harvard doctor and created the pain management program for Harvard Medical. The woman on the left was Texas Heart Center cardiologist, and she practices in the United States and in the Middle East, in Dubai. The man on the right is one of the top sports medicine doctors in the world. He's in Spain. He's the one that has conducted, at his request, all this quantitative testing. The man in the middle there is one of the top heart surgeons. He graduated #1 from Baylor in Texas Heart Center, which is where they did the very first heart transplant. The man on the left was a Harvard heart surgeon, or Harvard pain management. The guy on the right practices in Beijing and in Orange County, California. He's a PhD from the Mayo Clinic and an MD. So we just see, you can click on any of those and see all about them. But these are the level of guys that we have that are just amazing. And so
it is impressive.
Yeah.
This is a medical advisory board, and you can reference from them, and you can learn a lot from them. You got yourself a good team there, sir.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and they serve at no cost. That makes it as unique as their credentials.
I caught that. I heard you say that.
Okay, bud, I'm going to have to run because I got to be somewhere.
But we had a wonderful time. God bless you, sir, and I'll see you in the future. And family, don't forget to swish and spray. Bye-bye. Okay. Take care.
Thank you, Frank. Lord bless you, my dear brother.
You too, sir. Bye-bye. Okay. Wow. How was that, family, huh? This man did work with Christy Brinkley, with Chuck Norris, with a lot of other people that have promoted their products. And it was very kind of Steve to come and talk to us about NuMe, his product. The nanotechnology behind it is very, very impressive, no doubt. Anyways, ready for part 2? Let me take a drink here first. Hold on. Look at Lauren Collier. It says, I love Numi. It works. Yeah, I can't wait to spray it all over my face. Thanks, all of you that came. I appreciate you. The 1,000 that were with us. Thank you. It's a good product. It's a good product. I mean, if you just even try it once, you're going to see how good that product is, especially when you spray it on your face. All righty, family. We're here now to study the Iraqi dinar. That's the second part of our study. And we also have a second part of our study. When we were together last Monday, I took you to my blue couch. Oh, look at that. Now, part 2 for Frank's UB2B. Wow, look at that, Tink. Who did that, Tink? Who did that?
I did.
Who did? That looks official. Wow, look at that. It looks nice, Tink. Do you like this new format?
Yeah, it's getting used to it.
You're getting used to it? Anyways, it's pretty cool. Hey, Will, thank you for bringing Steve. What a product, brother. It's going to work now, instantly. Whew. With all the athletes that we can turn this on to. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so, yeah, we're now into the second part of our conference call, and that is the study of the Iraqi dinar. And before we get to studying it, it's really important that we establish the foundation of our study, that everything that I share with you is in my opinion. Now, the last time that we were together, I brought you to my blue couch, right? And we sat down together on my blue couch. And I told you about 3. I'm just curious. How good are your notes? What are the 3? Before we go any deeper into our study of the Iraqi dinar tonight, all of it in my opinion, on Monday I introduced you to my blue couch. And I told you that Walking Stick and I would like to tell you something. And we invited you to sit on our couch, and we told you about 3. With the CBI. Who are those 3? Timothy. I'm so proud of you, man. You're the only one out of over 1,000 of you. And Timothy is the first one that comes up and says, I know the answer. It was IMF, AMF, and World Bank. It sure was. In fact, there was also more there too, by the way. Who else has it? Paul, Taylor, Justin, White, Mark, McCardle, I think that's how you say, Kathy, Rob, Sun Viper. Nice upgrade. No, that's not. No, that doesn't count, Sun Viper. Yeah. That's no sound. We have sound. Do we have sound, Tink? Hold on. Let me see if this makes it. Okay. Yep, we have sound. We can hear it. And see if this makes it. Yep, we have sound over here. So let me get back to work. It's on your side. God bless you. I hope you can fix it. I hope you can hear me. All righty. Judith Miller says we have sound. All righty. So it turns out that on Monday, I told you to sit down with me on my blue couch. And we talked about the CBI having a meeting with 3. How many meetings were there? I'm just curious. Come on, I'm curious. How many meetings did I tell you that the CBI would have? What on Monday I told you. How many meetings would the CBI be having this week? Oh, Justin says it was on my end. Sorry about that. Okay, good. I'm glad you have sound now. Oh, Osvaldo, thank you for joining Club 26. By the way, I'm going to explain Club 26 when we're done tonight. Remind me, okay? A lot of you have been asking, well, what's the difference between Club 26 and Premium? a lot. And I'll explain all that later on. But thank you for joining Club 26. You can find the little tab where you see where it says join, JOIN. See where it's right underneath Frank 26 Wednesday UB2B. Right underneath it, you'll find it. Now, you also find it in another place. Yeah, in a different place too. When you go to our landing page, you'll be able to see it on the top right.
That's on your YouTube page.
Okay. My wife says that this is our YouTube page. You see where it says join right there? That's how you join Club 26. It's $5. $5 a month if you want to be a part of it. If you do, thank you. We appreciate you. Now, family, what we're going to do is talk about the three. And I asked you, oh, look at you all. So proud of you. Who was the first one? Witchy woman? KC, hi, 808. What's up? Aloha to you, brother. Let's see. A set of meetings. Okay, Kathy, I like that one. I like that. There was way too many to count. No, Nate the Great. There was only two. Ray Cox guided. Teresa guided. T. Swan guided. Who else said two? Sharina, it looks like. Muhammad. All of you that said two, you're right. Now, let me ask you this. These two meetings, one of them was with the World Bank, the AMF, the IMF. Who was the other meeting with? Who was the other meeting with that the CBI was going to be involved with this week? Come on, let me see. Let me see. Oh, Timothy, doggone, this guy's going to have to get a cookie. Well, maybe not. Maybe I mean, let's not exaggerate. Bacchus says herbal. Actually, yeah, it was. And there you go, Karen. Thank you. Karen is giving us the other part. She says Kurdistan. That's exactly right. Ladies and gentlemen, on Monday, I told you that in my opinion, there would be two meetings that were rather significant that were going to occur this week. One of them was, both of them were with the CBI. And one of them was with the AMF, the Arab Monetary Fund, and the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. Now that we've established that, and you remember, oh, and the other meeting was very good. Who is that? Witchy woman again. Boy, you hit it on Kathy, Rob. You hit it. It's dealing with the Iraqi stock exchange and the herbal stock exchange. Okay, I want to put that one aside. That meeting, the herbal stock exchange, and the Iraqi stock exchange, it's good. It's a great meeting, I'm sure. But let's put that one aside. Because when I had you sit down with me on my blue couch on Monday, I talked to you about the other meeting. And what did I say about the other meeting, in my opinion? Well, let's do a reproduction of what might have happened at this CBI meeting. All right, everybody. I want your attention. Everybody sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Stop eating pizza. Sit down. We're calling the meeting to order. This is the Central Bank of Iraq. And it's good to be with you, AMF. It's good to be with you, IMF. It's good to be with you, World Bank. It's good to be with you, Sudani. It's good to be with you, Alak. It's good to be with you, U2 and U2. And it's good to be with you too as well. And hey, WTO, it's good to be with all of you here. Now, I thank you for coming because you really didn't have to come. You see, it's not a mandatory meeting, is it? No, it's not. We called this meeting. Yeah, we called this meeting, and we're so grateful that you've all come. And what we are doing at this meeting is, and this is where I had you sit on my blue couch with me. If I was in charge, if I was preceding this meeting, and if I was, calling the shots, and I had the gamble, and I was, smacking on the table and calling the meeting to order, I would tell these agencies that are there. The reason we called you to order is because we would like to tell you when we're going to release the new exchange rate, when we're going to release the new currency, when we're going to release. Basically, we have dates for you. Oh, I mean, wouldn't that be cool if that was true? You're sitting on my blue couch. Wouldn't it be cool if it was true? So when we get to the second part of our study tonight, Walking Stick and I want to talk to you about that meeting. Would you like for us to? You're going to have to sit on our blue couch again. Is that okay with you? Old timers, you know exactly what it means when you sit on my blue couch. It means that everything that I'm saying to you, in my opinion, is actually... But before we get to that third part with Walking Stick, and I want to share with you about those meetings, I'd like to read to you Eddie's report. Would you like that? Because again, Eddie's report fills in a lot of gaps, things that we're missing. Oh, no. Copy. So, family, we were together on Monday. What was the date for Monday, Tank?
10.
The 10th?
Mhm.
Nope. That was all of today. This is all of yesterday. This is yesterday. Yes, Monday. Here we go, Monday. So we start with yesterday. Yesterday, family, at 6. Oh, where's the camera on this one? This is different. We're going to
That's the
start.
middle.
Well, yesterday we're going to start at 6:27 in the morning. Here we go. The television is saying that we have 19 new governorates, new that have created provinces to oversee. Now, if you remember, family, we told you that there was going to be, what was it, 15 new cities in the southern part of Iraq. Good grief. Because of the success of the monetary reform, because the economic reform is exploding in Iraq. And then Eddie's being told by the government of Iraq that there are going to be 19 new governorates. These are new provinces that have been created and that need overseeing by these governorates. Iraq is not your daddy's Iraq. Iraq has improved to the point where it is a state of the art. Iraq is now sitting at a position in the international world on the precipice of becoming a financial hub. World leaders. So to have 19 new governorates, what do you think that's going to do politically for Sudani? Who do you think is building these cities? Sudani. This is a brilliant political move because of the success of the monetary and economic reform. Second report. We have breaking news. He won't let go of that. Notice how Eddie constantly is saying, breaking news, breaking news. Remember on Monday, almost every post that I was reading from you or for you from him, breaking news, Mr. Frank, breaking news. Well, I don't know if it's breaking news per se, but I know you're excited about what's going on. Oh my goodness, look at the screen.
Dark, wouldn't it?
What happened? Here, I'll use my magic powers. You will become lighter. Oh, oh, pretty good. Nothing up my sleeve, said Bullwinkle. I don't know what caused that to go dark. I think it's because when I went like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So, breaking news. The television says that the Kurds are coming back to Baghdad. We know that, don't we, family? There's no problem with Sudani and Barzani. There's no problem with Baghdad and Erbil. Kurdistan is cool. They're participating in everything. The voting, the budget, the laws. It's just the bad guys that say there's a problem, and there is no problem. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's something for you to put into your psyche. The only problem are those that become a problem. But Sudani's getting rid of them, isn't he? Left and right. I mean, he's walking into that room full of cockroaches and he's going, oh, God, he's getting away. Got him. Sudani's cleaning the floor for the monetary and economic reforms. They are real. It is true. It is no longer a secret. There's no need for the monetary reform to continue to lie about the exchange rate. So they're saying that the Kurds are coming back to Baghdad because, Mr. Frank, there's a big delegation that's coming back to Baghdad from Kurdistan this time around, and it's to proceed with the implementation of the budget. All of Kurdistan is in favor of the budget and what Sudani is doing. They're saying that the budget, the relationship between Kurdistan and Baghdad are at a satisfactory level. Satisfactory level? Okay, whatever. There is more breaking news on the television, Mr. Frank, report number 3 on yesterday. Now they're saying that the banks, oh, hello. This is, okay, what? The banks in Kurdistan. Really? Because they're going along with the program. There's no problem with the banks in Kurdistan. They're ready. What you got to say, Eddie? The banks in Kurdistan are prohibiting cash transfers on cards outside of Iraq. They are really tightening the screws. It seems to be that there is a corruption scam, another one, Mr. Frank, where they would use Iraqi cards to purchase, say, like Turkey money, and then they would transfer it to US dollars and then send that amount back to their Iraqi account. Well, I mean, this is corruption, Mr. Frank. Is it ever going to end? Thank you, T-Ball, for your financial contribution. If anybody wants to help us with the financial contribution, we're humbled, we're grateful, and it is needed. Thank you. Yesterday, 4th report of the day, 9:57 in the morning. Mr. Frank, we have breaking news. That's all it says constantly. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Mr. Frank, we have breaking news. Parliamentary finance. Boo. Boo. Fine. Parliamentary finance. Boo. But okay. What about them, Eddie? Mr. Frank, breaking news. Parliamentary Finance says that next Sunday, they will start the allocation of the funds for the budget and instructions on certain projects. They said it. What, Eddie? What'd you say? They said it. on television. Yeah, they said it on the news. Next Sunday, this coming Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 more days. This Sunday, they're going to give the instructions for the budget. Yeah. Remember when we were together on Monday? I told you what the instructions, in my opinion, were. I told Eddie, and you'll hear me read it in a little bit here. I told Eddie, you know what this reminds me of, son? Christmas morning. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas morning. I used to fight Santa Claus for the cookies. I'd kick his big fat butt for those cookies. They were my cookies. But when I became an adult, I finally shared my cookies with Santa Claus. I didn't want to, but I did. And on Christmas morning, I remember one Christmas morning, we had this red wagon bicycle for my son. And my wife, she says, here, puts them right in my face. What's that? The instructions. Your son wants to ride the bike right now. Okay. Give me my weapons. Give me my tools, and let's see what I can do. So I take the instructions. The neck bone's connected to the thigh bone. How is that possible? Okay. So let's try, and I put together the bicycle. Oh, God. I went through a lot of pain, but I got it done. And I gave my son the bicycle, and he was so happy. He rode it down the hallway and broke everything. But yeah, instructions is what allowed me to put together the bike. And for almost 2 weeks now, the CBI, in the monetary reform, has been telling the Iraqi citizens, we are about to give you the instructions for the budget. And then he said, what the hell do I want instructions for the budget for? What do I want instructions for the budget for? Huh? What are you talking about, Frank? What's that mean, Mr. Frank? I don't understand. What are you talking about? And I told him, I said, Eddie, in my opinion, and I tell him the Christmas story. And I said, the only way that you can put together all the things that are in that budget to become a reality and to be able to ride that bike is if you had a new exchange rate. The new exchange rate, that's the instructions for all the projects that are inside of that budget for the next 3 years. You think so, Mr. Frank? Yeah, I pretty well know. I think so. Okay. And he calmed down. Breaking news. Yeah, I know about Sunday. Don't tell me. Okay, yeah. They're going to start the allocation. I know allocations of the money, right? Allocations of the funds for the budget. That's the new exchange rate, son. I mean, if there was no new exchange rate coming, they wouldn't be talking about it. They just, there's the budget. There's a stinking program rate. But no. We got instructions for the budget. because the instructions that come with it right now, they don't work. Made in China. No wonder it don't work. Yeah, so get ready, Eddie. The allocation for the funds for the budget and instructions on certain projects too, Mr. Frank. Instructions on certain projects. Instructions on certain projects. Instructions for the whole damn budget, man. You need a new program rate. All righty, let's continue. They're saying that there will be serious discussions on this implementation. Is the CBI having any meetings this week? They're saying that there will be serious discussions on this implementation. Yep, they are saying that. Yes, sirree. They Yogi. Yeah, what boo boo? They're going to discuss it. I know. There's big news. More with the look at this. Big news. Yeah. Okay. What about it? Big news? What? It's big news about an upgrade on our Baghdad airport. They say that it's going to help us with all of our reforms. Yeah. 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 The WTO was excited about what you're doing with the airport. Yeah. Yesterday, 11:19 in the morning. Man, we still haven't even gotten out of the morning. This is the 7th report. Sudani's on the news, Mr. Frank, and he's saying that Iraq is pursuing reforms. Who's on the TV? Sudani? The Sudani? Yeah. Okay. And what's he saying? It's breaking news. What's he breaking? He says, I am pursuing the reforms. No, he did. Yes, he did. No, he did. Yes, he did. I bet you a cookie. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, he did then. He did that. Really, Eddie? He comes on TV and he says he's pursuing the reforms? By any chance, did he say what reforms? Yes, he did. What? What reforms? He says, I'm pursuing the reforms in financial. The monetary reform? Yes. Okay. And what else? In the banking sector. The monetary reform? Yeah. So yeah, Sudani goes on television and he tells the Iraqi students, I am chasing after the finance. Oh, by the way, the financial reform, the monetary reform, the banking reforms. That's me. I'm your prime minister. How you like me now, huh? Uh-oh. What's going on? I'm making it jump. It's vibrating?
No, you're making.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get too excited. Tink says I have to calm down. She put a box in back of the laptop so it doesn't move.
It's a funny color.
Well,
The color's funny.
yeah, the color is dark again. Watch me. I'll make it light. Ready? Hocus pocus. In your noses, up your poses, pocket full of poses. Become lighter. Well, kind of did. Yeah, family, this is amazing. Sudani comes on television. This was yesterday. Hey, citizens of Iraq, what? I am pursuing the reforms. Which ones? The financial reforms, the monetary reform, the banking reforms. Thank you, Sudani. Sudani is also saying that after the budget implementation that there will be committees to monitor the funds allocation and movements will be watched. Yeah. Sudani is like a hawk. Sudani, he's that big guy that the little guy needs to stand next to. Sudani is saying that after the budget is implemented, that there will be committees to monitor. What you want a monetary program rate for? They're going to have committees to monitor the allocations of the movements of the money in the budget. They're going to watch every step, everything. You better believe it, man. From the POS to the new currency to, oh, yeah, you better believe it. So Sudani is saying that after the budget is implemented, there's going to be these committees that are going to keep a real close tab on our new national currency. All the movements will be watched. There's another committee that's being formed to follow up on implementation of Article 140. Okay. And then what happens, family, is that I finally caught up. I finally had some time, and I start to answer Eddie. And as you can see, the answer that I give him, once again, it's long and tedious. And most of it I'll be able to read to you. Some of this I will not be able to read to you. So let's kick back, let's relax, and give me 3 hours to read this to you. All right, here we go. Good morning, Eddie. Thank you for your report. It's well done. I'm proud of you. You're telling me that Sudani is telling you on television that Iraq is pursuing the monetary reforms? He actually said the financial reform and the banking sector reform? Well, Eddie, he is talking to you about the monetary reforms. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we told you. The monetary reform education to you. Now, as far as Baghdad, Baghdad's airport growing, it's because the airport is important for the reforms, especially the economic reform. The WTO was very excited about what you're doing at the airports. Now, concerning the fact that they're telling you that next Sunday, the instructions, in quotations, the instructions of the funds for the budget will be released. Eddie, in my opinion, the instructions would be the new exchange rate because that's what the budget is waiting for. The new exchange rate. Everything waits for the new exchange rate to calculate all of the projects that are in the budget. Now, as far as the bad guys using the credit cards from your banks to steal Iraqi dinar, it's nothing new, is it? Sudani is taking good care of these people. Notice how it's less and less. Iran cockroaches will always be in the GOI as well, but they are far, far less in the CBI today because they are being caught on a daily basis. Sudani is using all of the mechanisms of the monetary reform. He's doing a great job of protecting your country, of protecting your monetary reform. Now, as far as the relationship between Kurdistan and Baghdad, it's great. Sudani and Barzani have agreed on everything from the HCL to the percentage of the budget from the oil to Article 140 to the production of oil itself. The only place where it's bad is where corruption lies in the minds of Iranian politicians that are in parliament still. The HCL, well, it sounds pretty strong to me, especially when you see that Kurdistan is coming to Iraq, and they don't like they being you know who. They don't like that now concerning the 19 new governorates. They are going to give Sudani more political power for the reforms. It will crush the Iranian politicians. Sudani is a smart man. And finally, as far as the big oil deal that Iran just signed with China, Sudani is not prejudiced against the color of any currency that will help build Iraq. He is a leader. You know that, Eddie. And this is only a huge step in adding more value to the Iraqi dinar internationally. I don't care if they signed with China. I only care about your monetary reform succeeding. Yes, Mr. Frank, I went to go see my bank guy. Mr. Frank, the television is telling us that our population here in Iraq has swelled over 43 million. They're talking about the mechanism to support the dinar and how to get away from the dollar. Hot dog, huh? Huh? You see, this means a lot more to me and my teams than I think it means to you. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. They're talking about a mechanism. You know what that mechanism is, family? To support the dinar. A program rate is not a mechanism, and a program rate cannot support the dinar. And to get away from the dollar, so that they can introduce the new mechanism, the new exchange rate. Doggone it. That was yesterday, family, at 1:22 in the afternoon. Yesterday, 3:35 in the afternoon. Breaking news. Oh, you see, to him, this is breaking news. To my teams and I, what we just read, that's huge breaking news. To Eddie, everything that they're telling them nowadays is breaking news. Breaking news. They're saying that Parliament will vote first thing on the top 3 laws, and first one is the oil and gas. We know what they're talking about, Mr. Frank, the HCL. Of course, that's number 1. They have a new fuel deal with Iran. And the whole contract is in dinars, not American dollars. Mr. Frank, we are winning. Mr. Frank, we are winning. Yesterday, 10:54 in the evening, Mr. Frank, Parliament Finance Committee, boo, Parliament Finance Committee just announced that Iraq has taken the first step to be the largest oil producer in the world. They're saying, man, these guys are a piece of work, aren't they? It had nothing to do with that, but they want to take credit. Iraqi citizens, what? We're number 1 in oil. Family, how many times have I told you that? How many times have I told you? No, they don't. They're not producing. What was it? 10 million barrels. No, they're not producing that. No, they're much. No. Their footprint is like the size of Lake Michigan in oil. No. Don't believe what they just said. They have so much oil. You have no idea. Everywhere they step, oil just squirts out. I mean, the atmosphere tastes like oil. No. They have a lot more. Then all of a sudden, Parliament Finance, the Iranian politician jerks, decide that they want to take the bull by the horns, and they want to announce to the Iraqis, hey, we just did something, and it made us number 1 in oil production in the whole wide world. No, it's been that way for a very long time. Ask China. They're saying that we're upping our production from 5 million barrels a day, and it could go as high as 14 million barrels a day. No, Eddie, it will be far greater than that. This is one company. These are based on what Total is doing. Wait till you see what the other companies are doing. 14 million barrels a day? No, that's nothing compared to what you're about to tell the world. Oh, today, we now are finally on today at 8:12 in the morning. Good morning. Look at Brian. Brian says they would want to have the RI or the RV. It's the RI. Before they pay Iran in dinars. Otherwise, they would overly enrich Iran when they do eventually change the rate. Each contract has its own separate rate. What kind of a rate do you think Iran is getting? The worst possible deal. Today, 8:12 in the morning, Turkey delegation in Iraq. Today, Mr. Frank, you are right. Turkey is here. They're going to work with us. This is big news. Mr. Frank, more big news. He used that twice. Mr. Frank, more big news. The federal courts are giving us news and saying that those that were challengers on the articles of the budget are now being suspended. You're out of here from being implemented in the budget. Listed all the ones being suspended. Ooh, buddy. You wanted to mess with Sadani, huh? You didn't want to get along, huh? Uh-huh. So now what happened? Everything that you wanted in the budget, the articles, all the new amendments, the new wording that you wanted, what you were saying about Kurdistan and Baghdad not getting along with each other, all your politicians, they're actually not even running for office. Remember that on Monday, family? We told you that they're not running. Malachi says, well, I'm not going to run. Yeah, you are. You're running away. You know, if you run for office, you'll be arrested, you knucklehead. You pile up. Those challenging the articles of the budget are now being suspended from being implemented in the budget, listed as the ones being suspended. Our prime minister, political advisor, is on channel Iraqi 1 right now, Mr. Frank, and he's giving us packages that they say they have put together to attract foreign investors. They are wanting outside companies to come in and to invest in Iraq's big deals. That's interesting, Mr. Frank, that they're telling us about those companies that are coming into Iraq. They've already told us enough, I guess, about the monetary reform. That's funny. Today, 9:37 in the morning, they are talking about 7 articles on the budget this morning. They say that these articles will be suspended from being put in the budget by the federal court. They're articles number 28, 57, 70, 75, and 13. And coupled others. They are talking about it now through the federal court system. This is a lot of articles, Mr. Frank, that are being ignored from the bad guys. Yeah. Today, 11:09 in the morning, the television is talking about a deal that was made to let herbal farmers of Kurdistan transport their crops to the southern part of Iraq. Well, yeah, that's where the 15 new cities are going to be. They're going to need food. You're going to make so much money. The crops to the southern parts of Iraq and central Baghdad. This is for the increase and the development of the agricultural side that will be in great demand now in the southern part of Iraq. Golly, this place is going crazy. All right, today, 2:30 in the afternoon, Barzani is saying that despite the differences between Erbil and Baghdad, they do support the prime minister and the government. You see? So there. For those of you that don't want to get along, get lost. Knuckleheads. An Egyptian billionaire. Oh, I read about this. This is one of hundreds of these guys, especially from Dubai. An Egyptian billionaire is launching a huge housing project in Baghdad. It's on the news today. That happens every day, man, Eddie. Every day, billionaires are pouring into your country. Every day. They know why. Anyways, family, so now I'm going to respond to Eddie on all of these subjects that he sent me. Again, I fell behind yesterday and today, and as you can see, I've got a lot to share and say to him. So once again, that's dang, this is ridiculous. So once again, let's sit back let's sit back and let's see what I had to say to Eddie. Hold on. They're having fun, aren't they? Look at them. Hola, buenos días, Alicia. Buenos días a ti también. AE says, hey, Henny, Frank's videos remind me of the old Fuji films. What? You mean what? You couldn't hear my words, but my mouth was moving somehow? Good morning, Eddie. Very good report, son. I thank you. Now, concerning the 43 million, it's because people know what the borders, it's because people know what borders to cross for prosperity and for hope. That's why you see the borders of my country being invaded. That's why we see your borders being invaded. The world knows what borders to cross for success, for security, for prosperity. And Iraq's future is laced in gold. That's why millionaires are pouring into your country right now. They smell the blood in the water. They smell the young blood of Iraq. I liked it too. You write down all these people so I can thank them later. Number 2. The monetary reform education is getting very loud every day on the subjects that are important for you as an Iraqi citizen. The subject of getting away from the American dollar in order to bring you closer to your new national currency and to your new exchange rate. That's the monetary reform, Eddie. Number 3, the votes on the top 3 laws that are coming, and one of them is the HCL. Remember, the HCL needs a new exchange rate. Because if it doesn't, then your HCL is going to pay you pennies. Also, Sudani is in full control of these 7 articles that are in question right now in the budget. That's why they have been suspended, because he is in control. Number 4, Iran has no choice but to avoid using the American dollar with Iraq, or there will be no business between the two of them. Sudani is in control of securing Iraq from Iran terrorism. Number 5, Iraq will be the largest oil producer in the world. They are telling you that they're going to go from 5 million barrels to 14 million barrels a day. That number is actually much larger, and you will find out about that number. Just like we told you, Eddie, in the past reports we've sent to you, that the oil numbers that they are giving you are way too low. Number 6, just like Iran, Turkey has no choice but to obey Sudani, to obey Iraq in all and any deals that have been established between the two of them, or there will be nothing for Turkey, just like there will be nothing for Iran or anyone that continues to deal with the American dollar. Number 7, As far as the federal courts, they ruled in favor of Sudani today. Hence, any and all issues have been suspended, and Sudani is sitting pretty for the reforms. Number 8, Sudani is paving the way. He is paving a golden road for the world to invest in Iraq. And you see it all around you. And the world is answering Sudani's call by pouring into Iraq to invest in large deals, in large contracts. Because everyone knows the potential of Iraq does not lie in a sanctioned program rate of Iraq's currency. It lies in the facts of the monetary reform education that are being given daily are true. The monetary reform being given to you daily now to the Iraqi citizens. And finally, number 9, agriculture and water will become Iraq's next biggest asset to back the monetary reform. Mark my words. Many of your ideas, Eddie, are good, but some of them I will tell you to stay away from. You must not invest based on emotion. I'll be there to help you, Lala, whatever. So this came in, by the way, as we were talking today. Big news. Well, of course it's big news. Everything's big news for this guy. Big news report in on saying Sudani closed the cave on the corruption in Anbar. Oh. Big news report in on saying Sudani closed the cave on corruption in Anbar. You don't know about that. And it's not for me to tell you about that either. Mr. Frank, they're saying that the price of the dollar will decrease after the implementation of the budget. You think? The budget has instructions. The price of the dollar will decrease after the implementation of the instructions for the budget? Well, of course. Well, of course. Anyway, so from that, I responded to him, and yeah, once again, it's long. It's long. Oh, maybe not as long. Here we go. Once again, Eddie, good report. Thank you, son. I want you to know that they keep telling you that they're going to give you the instructions to the budget. Now stop and think about that. It's early Christmas morning. Remember, I told you that I already told you what I said to him, but I'll read it again. So yeah, they keep telling you that they're going to give you the instructions to the budget. Now stop and think about that, Eddie. It's early Christmas morning. And I have to put together the bicycle for my son because he's excited that he got a brand new red bicycle. And I am excited to read the instructions on how to put the bicycle together so I can put a smile on his face. I want you, Eddie, I want you to know it is in my opinion and Walking Stick's opinion that the instructions to the budget is a new exchange rate. These instructions will tell the government of Iraq and the citizens of Iraq how, where, and when to use the new national currency and your new exchange rate. They will be triggered and they will explode the economy in your country because I can't think of any other way to explain instructions for your budget except as part of the monetary reform plan and education to you. Sending. Totally agreed, dude. We totally agree. Okay, team. Yeah. Having fun? Oh my goodness. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for me to say goodbye to you. But in doing so, I'd like to give you Walking Sticks report. In fact, I kind of may show it to you. Let me see if I can show it to you. You're sitting on my blue couch again. And as you sit on my blue couch, I'd like to read to you a communication between Walking Stick and I that is in my opinion. Frank, that CBI meeting with the 3 big, it took place today. Frank, that CBI meeting with the big 3, it took place today. Walking Stick. Did they ask my questions? Yes. They did not have to meet. This was not a mandatory meeting, but the CBI called these entities together. And they were given the timing of the release. That's what I would do. I don't know if they did this, but that's what I would do. I would have said, hey, all of you, sit down. Sit down. I've got to get home. America's Got Talent starts in about 10 minutes. But I want to tell you something. I want to give you the date of the release. I want to give you the value. I want to give you the count of the denominations. Excuse me. I want to give you the no count, and I want to give you the type of denominations. That's what I would do. I have no idea if they did this. Yeah, that's what I would do. Did you have a good time? Did you learn something? Glutathione. That's what I learned. That stuff is good stuff, man. I can't wait to start using this, start rinsing with it on a daily basis. Rinse with this. Wow. NutraSwish. And then this one, this is the same thing, the glutathione, but you spray it on your face. No. I'm going to spray it everywhere, man. Anyways, if you want to join Club 26, when you go to our landing page, look up on top. You see right here? It says join. It says join right there. You click on it, and you can join Club 26. Right now, you can also see that join button if you look at my video, the picture right underneath it says FRANK26 Wednesday UB2B, and right underneath that it says join. Same thing, you can click there. We're using this different format, and I don't know, I may continue to use it because it allows me to put, as you can see, advertisement down in the bottom. I can stick in extra things. And for those of you that join Club 26, that's only through our YouTube. Oh, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Club 26 is only through our YouTube. It's got a lot of little incentives in there. Badges, emojis, that's nice. You're also in a drawing. Anybody that is a member of Club 26, automatically every week we're going to do a drawing of its membership. And whoever the winner is, we'll send you something. It may be a bottle of Swish. It may be a 25K note. It may be a half-eaten cookie. No. But we'll be having giveaways that will be worth it every weekend. And I'm also going to be putting information in there, but what type of information? It's like a preview. It's like a preview of what the UB2B is going to be about. I'm also going to be opening it up for questions and answers. You can also post questions in there right now that I will, when I go in there, I look at your questions and I will answer them. It doesn't have to be live. Club 26 is different from Premium. Premium is found inside of our form. Now, in Premium, I put Eddie's report. In Premium, I humbly apologize. For the last week or so, I have not been putting Eddie's report in there. I'm so sorry. When I get done with this UB2B, what's going to happen, Tink?
What's going to go eat a cookie?
I'm going to go eat a cookie, but what's going to happen?
When you get done with the YouTube?
Well, when I get done with the YouTube.
You're going to go and update in Premium?
No. What's going to happen? The phone.
Oh, it's going to ring.
It's going to ring. And it's going to ring, and it's going to ring, and it's going to ring. And that's good because I love talking to you. I love praying for you. I had a man that called me yesterday. He suffered a stroke. He could barely talk. It was a stroke and aneurysm. He was in the hospital. He was scared. He was scared. He was crying. And he was lonely. And when you answered the phone, Tink, what did he say to you?
He told me who he was, and then he wanted to talk to you because he wanted you to pray with him. And he said, because I know Jesus loves Frank, and I need him to pray for me.
I will pray with anyone. If you have a need, you have a petition, you have an ailment, whatever it may be, I'm your friend and I'll pray with you. My phone number is 419-283-2552. Walking stick is also your friend. And like my wife put on, oh, you took it off already.
Until you're ready.
Well, you can put it back up there. You know that every 2 weeks I ask for help. My wife and I, we raise the money one way or another. And it's $1,650, isn't it? Every $1,650 every 2 weeks that we raise for his immunotherapy. Family, you have kept him alive. Truly, if it wasn't for you, he would not have been able to afford that therapy. No. And the odds are extremely high that he would not be with us right now. Take pride in that. And if you can help me, please, there's my phone number, 419-283-2552. Give me a call. I'll give you my address. And if you can help us with a check or whatever to help Walking Stick, once again, Thank you. Thank you very much. For those of you that helped with financial contributions, know where this money goes. For those of you that have joined Club 26, we're honored, we're grateful, and we will be uploading more stuff in there, okay? And this weekend, we'll give away our first, I don't know, I don't know if I want to say prize, but whatever it is, our first gift. There you go. I'm going to call them gifts. Yeah. Anyways, so I told you that I need help with walking stick. I'll see you Monday, unless something happens with these CBI meetings. Then I'll do another UB2B, but it'll be rather quick. It'll be rather quick. You know, the short ones, the short ones that we do. Stay strong. Stay with God. Stay strong and stay with God. Don't have sex with sin. Don't have sex with sin. You'll give birth to evil. Your soul and your body, they live so close together that sometimes they catch the same illness. You know, like pride, envy, greed, anger. Walk with the Lord. Talk with the Lord. Be with the Lord in all things that you do. I had a wonderful time with you tonight, and I want to thank the donations. There was 2 of them. Very grateful. I thank Sun Viper and Howard Crockett. Thank you so much for your financial contributions. And we had 2 members that joined our Club 26 tonight, Bacchus and Deborah Karash. I hope I'm saying that right. I hope so too, Karash. Thank you kindly. Yeah. If these CBI meetings decide to say more, we're going to have a short UB2B. Until then, God bless you all. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Sweet aloha. Bye-bye.